Welcome to the Thinking Green News Moment. I'm Chris Schneider. Today my guest is Steve Caroline with the City of La Crosse, and we're talking about the La Crosse Fitness Festival.
Hi,
Welcome,
Chris.
Steve.
Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you
Well,
involved.
we're excited about talking about the Fitness Festival, so we're glad to be here.
Lots of good things that were happening for the City of La Crosse.
A lot of good things. I think for a first-year event, it was a tremendous success. As you probably know, La Crosse is, marathons fit right in with the lifestyle here, in addition to all the other events that we put on.
Yeah, well, there were a lot of events.
Some of the surprising events, the kids relay that we had on Saturday in the park. I mean, if you've ever gone down and seen 3-year-olds to kindergartners run a 100-yard dash, we had 135 kids in that. It reminded me of the days when you had the turtle races and you had to watch them, but, parents would cheer their kids on, and first thing they do is stop. But it was fun, and the Criterion was a great event downtown.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, it was my first experience to a Criterion. I'd relate it to like the Indianapolis 500 on bicycles. I mean, there's just a massive swarm of bikes going around about a 0.4 mile track at very, very high speeds, up to 35 miles an hour. So a lot of excitement. A lot of people were really enthused to see bikers going that fast, and we got a really good representation.
And where did that event take place then, Steve?
Right downtown, right around, right in front of the hotel right there, the Radisson and right around the area where the merchants are.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great. It was fun.
And so how many participants did you have in the marathon?
Actually, we had around 400 participants in the marathon. We filled up the half at 800. Total participants in all the events were around 3,600, including the kids' races, and then the 5K walk, fun, run, whatever you'd like to call it, which was centered around family focus, had around 1,600 people involved in it. So all in all, a very successful event.
It sure sounds like it. Now, the overall theme was La Crosse Fitness Festival, and so you had exhibitors and events that were taking place.
We had a 2-day show at the La Crosse Center, which featured all types of fitness, from apparel to chiropractors to nutrition products. And that was well attended. All of our vendors that participated this year are looking forward to coming next year because they had such a good turnout from the community to come through and see what they had to offer.
How did the city, and specifically the Parks and Recreation Department, come upon the idea of returning a marathon to La Crosse?
During the interview process, when I was being considered as a candidate for the position of the Director of Parks and Recreation, several questions were asked about my background, and I'd been involved in a very large marathon event, the United States Air Force event at Wright-Patterson, and so the questions popped up again about, well, what do you think about an event here in La Crosse? And I think it fits. Again, I look at La Crosse as a lifestyle. I mean, the people that live here, they walk, they bike, they hike, they enjoy nature. So bringing a fitness festival to the community was a natural fit. A little article in the newspaper, a lot of emails were generated, tons of support came out from volunteers that wanted to participate. So we just started putting it together and developing a steering committee. The hospitals were very instrumental in coming on board. Some major sponsors came on board. Of course, Honda was involved with this also. The car was really cool. So it started that way. We started about 16 months out in front of the event, and then we continually met, refined our process, took a look at some options that we had, and it eventually it was over. But it was a great journey getting there.
Well, I unfortunately was out of town and didn't get to participate directly. But
you can next year.
Well, I hope to.
Okay, good.
Not to put you on the spot, but
okay.
One of the things that I enjoy outdoors is kayaking, and our proximity to the La Crosse River and the Mississippi River. Is there any consideration that you would include some water activities?
There are several considerations we're looking at. One is a canoe kayak around Pettibone Island, out in that area. It's I think it's around 4 miles to go around that, so we're looking at that very seriously. We're probably going to bring in another family event called the Volksmarch, which is kind of a European tradition. It has a pretty good stronghold in the United States, and essentially it's about a 20-kilometer walk. Has to do with families out and people just enjoying the nature. It would be through up into the Hickson Forest and around those areas. There's some interest about what's called a bike tour, so we'd set up like concentric circles, 50, 100 miles, and then people would ride in these, whatever event they chose, so they could actually ride their bikes out into the beautiful area around here of La Crosse. So, yeah, we're continually going to bring more events to it because the focus is fitness, and I think I want to reemphasize it's about lifestyle, and that encompasses emotional health, physical health, spiritual health, and all of those elements fit real well into this community.
Well, thank you, Steve. Thanks for being involved in the La Crosse Fitness Festival. This is Chris Schneider with the Thinking Green News Moment.